Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So with Ethereum, we currently see the scenario still unfolding further to the downside, in my opinion. I think we're heading here further to the downside. That is still my expectation, even though today we reached already 1250 again. Yeah, that was basically my price here on the, I think the 21st of September, when I bought in already a larger batch at 1250. Now I haven't bought again. I'm still waiting for maybe another low. Yeah, that is what I said, and that's what I'm doing. If we don't see that lower low, I'm not going to be worried because I already accumulated at 1250. So I'm sort of happy with my choice so far. I did share my thoughts around my strategy in the last few days anyway. So anybody who's watched the previous ETH videos will know what I'm doing. There are basically here two main scenarios how for me this could be unfolding. First of all, what you need to understand is that we are most likely, in my opinion, in an A, B, C correction to the downside. I don't think it's finished yet. It could be, but I don't think it's finished yet. It makes more sense also in terms of looking for the ideal wave pattern yet to see one more dip. And we came very close today, but we haven't really made that new low yet. So ABC, yeah, which should ideally hold and reverse in this target area between 1130 and 1280. Again, it can go down to $1,000, but below $1,000, I don't think that this is a corrective wave pattern anymore. Then we're looking at something impulsive that's coming down. And if we go below $1,000, there is a significant risk we are going to lose the 880 level and will come down to 650 and maybe even lower. That is just the risk everybody needs to understand, yeah, because nobody can guarantee that this wave setup is going to work out, yeah. But it is one of the best setups you can get, so-called 1-2 setups in Elliott Wave, and therefore I'm highly interested in this one. There's a few other charts that we talked about in previous videos that are also pointing to a similar setup. So there's two main scenarios how this can now be unfolding. Generally, I'm looking at the wave pattern here in the wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and ideally another 5 down. So there are a couple of options. What are the options? The options could be that in this fifth wave, yeah, that we are already in this fifth wave, that if I zoom in a little bit, we are looking here at ABC in the wave 5. Yeah, a few questions. Why is wave 5 ABC? Very simply, it's an ending diagonal, that wave C, which has started at around 1700, yeah, or 1780. It's a wave C, which is a 5-wave move, but a wave C can be an ending diagonal, and because we can count these subwaves of each of these waves so nicely as 3 waves each, it is most likely a 3-3-3-3-3 pattern, which means each of these waves can have 3 waves, including wave 5. That is actually a scenario that I think has a good chance of working out. Again, they only differ in detail. But in this scenario where we follow the yellow wave count A, B, C, the wave C consists of the white subwaves here, 1, 2. I think this has been invalidated. Not really, but it's unlikely that this is still playing out. So 1, 2, yeah, and then we are already in wave 3, 4 up and 5 down. This retracement though was a little bit too strong for me. So I'm rather looking at this being the wave 1 and this here being a wave 2, yeah, because it was a bit too strong. I don't think this was a 1-2, 1-2 setup anymore. But here, all of this, in the wave C here, we can look at that in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5-wave move down, an impulse, and then the wave 2 currently to the upside. So that's all fine. That's all within the scope of what it can do. You know, when I tell you we come lower with a high likelihood, first of all, it doesn't mean it needs to work out. Yeah, always understand that. I can only talk about likelihoods and most likely developments, but it also means, it never means it comes down in one straight line, because this is simply impossible. Anywhere where you look on this chart, it is a wave pattern, yeah. Of course, it has elements that look like a straight line, but it is most likely going to be a wave pattern. So with lower lows and lower highs, okay? So yeah, and in that scenario, we would now turn down in wave 3. We have basically retraced to the area between the 50% and the 61.8% fib level. Could go a bit higher in wave 2, but at any moment we need to expect here a drop down, especially because we have reached here a key resistance area. So as long as we stay below this level at 1340, 1350, I think we can come down very, very swiftly. If we break above that, then our next resistance will be here, 1345, 1370. And even above that level, I mean, above that level, the current wave count will get unlikely. And then we have to have on the radar that we might get a more of an extensive corrective pattern to the upside. Yeah. So for me, the low is not in yet from what I see in the chart. Generally, further downside expected, even if further moves up in short term are happening. These are, however, with a high likelihood only of corrective nature. Now, here, this is the alternative, or the second option. I don't really want to say alternative because they're both highly likely. That is that this red wave 4 was actually here. So I've highlighted that in purple as alternative wave 4. And we're coming down here as well then in a 3-wave move, A, B, C. And we could have done wave A already, highlighted in purple here. We are now in wave B. Again, that could stretch without a problem to 1370. That's the 78.6% fib level. And as you know, a wave B is generally difficult to forecast. So you can get messy wave Bs, you can get overshooting wave Bs. So in a wave B, it's often best not to touch it really. And then there would be a wave C down, which would be another 5-wave move. So generally at the moment, just because we're having a little bit of an intraday rally, there's no reason to panic. Again, you know, I just can't say it often enough. We have hit the target area today a second time, yeah? So again, that was another opportunity for anybody who missed the buying area here. If you want to follow this, because I'm not telling you what to do. Yeah, I can talk about my own strategy. So I already bought at 1250 today. We nearly touched 1250 again. So again, everybody who complained, I think it was yesterday, about the fact that they missed when we were up here, that they missed the buy-in at 1250. I mean, I'm not sure if you bought today, but it would just make sense if you complained yesterday. So I didn't buy because I already bought a bit lower than today, you know, at 1250. But I'm looking at adding one more position if we go lower, because this is part of the plan. And if we don't do it, then I'm just going to take profits higher. So that's all good as long as we stay above $1,000. This is all playing out as forecasted here in the larger move 1-2. But always be aware of the risk that if we lose $1,000, we're probably coming down quite hard. How you manage your risk, that's up to you. You could set a stop loss, or you just manage your position size in a way that it's small enough not to really affect you should we drop below $1,000, or you just hold it long term. But that's entirely up to you, of course. So for me at the moment, the small intraday rally that we've seen today is just a bit of a corrective move up, and I'm looking at the next impulse down. If anything changes, of course, I will let you know. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.